Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, this week, it's time to finish an elevator. Hopefully. We'll find out. Yeah, so, we run down here, turn my HUD on, because I might as well. I've already loaded up on, hopefully, the materials and, various stuffs I will need to build this. Actually, let's turn right back around and get some more hydrogen. Actually, yeah, it's probably quicker to go this way. From that point, the ship is probably not that much further away. But you have to run out on the thingy, and it's the middle of the night, so it's not like we'll see anything. Or keep accidentally venting that airlock, which isn't great. Okay, so we close the door. Open that and all's good. It's the issue with airlocks, if you kind of cycle them too quickly, the outer door is not counted as fully closed, and because air, it doesn't escape in Space Engineers, at the rate air does, it's just all gone instantly. One little crack in the door as it's closing is enough to vent the entire base. Not super fun, but, doesn't super matter anyway because we're pressurizing the air from the planet, so we aren't losing it. It just means more energy. Okay. It's very dark. The elevator is at the other end. I guess we'll fly up topside through the terrifying death tunnel. There's an elevator. Oh, it is day. Just the crest of morning. Perfect. Huh. Yeah. This thing's gonna be a little bit interesting. We'll see how it works. So, here, one thing I should do. So these are my various ones. Hide all those. So these are the pistons that go down. These are the ones that then come back up. Actually, I need to see all of them. So I want all of these pistons to share inertia tensor. Except, I think, the one I'm connecting with. This one. Because this is the last piston in the chain. I think if I turn it off share inertia tensor, it'll give it just a little bit of wiggleability that hopefully will help it not whack into things so much. And or it just makes it whack into things extra hard and kill the occupants of the elevator. We'll find out. Okay. I'm also going to do some work to make this, the ascent-descent a little bit more slowed, but that'll come later. So, we plummet onto the elevator as it goes down, fluctuating in speed a little bit as it terrifyingly whizzes past. Oh. And we're sort of here, getting spanked up and down. Oh, and okay, we missed. Right. Oh, I remember. So to get it at the right height, so one of the first things I'll need to, well, no, one of the last things I'll need to do probably is make these into steps to get them to the right height. What I should do. So my plan for today is to build the actual car. And how I'm gonna do that, guess a hinge will be best. Or actually, hold on. They don't let you add... No, you can't add a small piston head. That would be nice if you could convert straight to small grid on a piston. fact, that would be something kind of handy for them to add, but I doubt they will. So I do still need a block like a hinge that I can add a small head to. Can I do that from here? I can't remember. Yes. Perfect. Now, I guess what I could do, I was thinking of having a flat platform on top of this, but I could also, if I lock this, where are hinge lock on, I could have a little sort of hooky bit come down and come down here, because I don't need this thing to be a, whoops, you know, it doesn't need to be a super huge capacity cargo elevator. It just needs to be enough room for a couple people maybe to stand on it. So, this will be just trying it out now. Yeah. So I can make it come down to there. The benefit of this is I don't have to go up as high with these. Because at the moment, I need... It's weird because of the piston lengths. Actually, if I can come down 2 more, that should be... Yeah, that's walkable from the height of 1 block above the current ramp onto the elevator. And that should also be enough room for someone to stand. So... Okay. This is something. Now, the one downside here... Whoops. The one downside here is there isn't really a good door that I want to use that I feel like will work with this. So it may just be open and you just kind of hang on. That's a little clunky. Maybe... something like that. And like that. That seems nice, a little cage. It is pretty cozy for an elevator. Pretty much is just one occupant. Let's see. We'll use this to test the function. Because if this works from a functional standpoint, I should be able to widen it side to side and maybe even out this way a little bit. And it should still function correctly. So, I bet I don't... Oh, is this enough to work? It may just be. I need a group for all pistons. Maybe just for now. Try not to cut off the elevator car. We'll place one of these. It's functional. And then I can just kind of control it manually how I've been doing. So, let's get nice and squarely on the car. And up we go. I am being moved outward towards the exit, which is disconcerting. But this seems to be generally working. So we clang up here. This is the other thing I want to determine. Okay, actually, Look at that. So at this upper end, if this is the floor, it's pretty much at the right height for the floor. In fact, I can already walk on and walk off. Do I have enough room? Yeah, so if I extend it by 1 here, and then just kind of, for consistency's sake, there's plenty of room on board. I may be able to build a little... In fact, let's do that. I don't have the parts, but I can lay it out. A little hinge-based safety bar. Oh, take it away. In fact, this may get some touch-up, but... that should be able to... oops. If I can... yeah, I don't have the bits. So when I weld that up, that should be able to flop down. In fact, hold on. If I... hinge lock off, and then... yeah. Look at that. Obviously, I can't control it, but I've got a nice little safety cage. Now let's see if anything explodes as it goes back down. Because that's my concern, is if it's too close, I don't want it to, in fact, just for extra safety, we'll make sure at the very least it's only that one little edge. Okay. Now, it'll still have the issue of me plummeting into the car for now. That's something we'll deal with later. Oh, and the, okay, that may need power to work more effectively. Dang. I was hoping I'd be able to test that to see if it would actually keep me kind of securely in the car. Oh, here it... oh. Okay, it's struggling a bit. It may stay closed eventually.
Energy low.
Oh, and I can't... oh, I can jump out that side. Okay. Well... now, do I want to expand it? Because that's the thing. I probably should. Because at the moment, I think you might be able to get 2 players in here, but it's going to be cramped. Yeah, actually, hold on. I can expand it pretty easily just by opening up the sides here. So if I do like so, like so, and then those bits there, get rid of these. Doesn't really matter, but I want to. So I kind of do like that. Let's see if it'll let me. Perfect. Hopefully that's placed on this arm and not on there, though it shouldn't matter too much. So that's now plenty of room in the car without expanding it sideways too much. And what I can do is just do these little bits on the side rails, these little bits there, and it's now a fair bit wider for minimal exterior width. Yeah, so you still have your little 3-block wide door, which works fine because that's the width of a normal door. If I want, I could put a button here that controls this hinge separate from whatever button I'll use to actually raise and lower the elevator.
Energy critical.
Yeah, I could even, if I want, make this a solid wall to kind of cover up the piston bit. Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay. First steps first. Actually, I probably want that. We'll put maybe a button in here. Because I want a button to actually, you know, do the up-down. This I'll control separately. I'll just do it manually with Build Vision for now. I have a plan for how I want that to work. That's real quick. I want to gather up everything before I go and, gather parts that I'm going to need to go quickly anyhow. Actually, these just take computers. I'll get the bits for this queued up. Yeah. And I'll go and get just those and a bunch of computers, and that should cover me. Okay, sealed. And we're good. You just can't go quick with airlocks. Okay. So. Weld up those. Finish making that. I don't need a display, really. Let's go ahead and actually weld this stuff up. I guess I could make it prettier in the future, but I think we'll leave the same basic shape and then just add little bits as we need them. Okay. And while I'm here, since these will be the bits you see, even though I don't actually want these to actually... Oh, I need more parts for those. Even though these won't actually do anything, so they don't need to be functional, I'm going to build them up so they look the part, just because you will see and interact with them. Let's go ahead and modify this. So I want it to go straight up. I'm done. We'll set it to that, and yeah. So that works well. Could maybe set the velocity up higher. That should be good. It is nice that they've done, and you can actually sort of see, here, let's reverse again. So if you look, once it hits the bottom, it sort of squishes in a bit. Because technically these are pushing against each other. It's probably causing some phantom force that in reality is not a good thing, but because this is all fixed to a solid grid, it doesn't matter. But it's nice that they've fixed some of the collisions so that stuff like that works. Because before, with how the old collisions were, it would just clunk onto this corner and stick there. It wasn't close enough that it could sort of wedge itself in. So yeah, that works well. Now, the big thing on what I'm going to want to do to make it happen is name this Piston Final. So to make this sort of operate smoothly off one button press, I'm going to use timer blocks. And I should have figured this out beforehand as to how I intended to use them, but I didn't, so I don't know what I'm doing. Also, I don't have the parts, so I'll be back. finish these up for the heck of it. So, I think how I'll do it, I've got 2 timer blocks there. What I want to do is I want this piston that I'm connected to directly to start a second before, so that my character is already, this is mainly for moving downward. I want my character to already be moving down when they all start moving. And I may have to add, I may need more of those and add further down this piston line to make it smooth enough. But my goal is to not take damage going down the elevator. So. Oh no. The downside again of being connected to the main base. We'll say, call this elevator timer block. This can be elevator timer block 2. That way I just have to type elevator and it should give me what I need. Yeah. Oh, except. No, we'll do that separately. So, elevator timer block. So this first one, I want it to start the countdown on timer block 2. Timer block 2 is going to trigger the main set of all the elevators. Oh, actually, would be nice if there were a way to change the name on all of, like, iterate the name on all of these. I don't think I can. Yeah, the name thing just goes away. It would be nice if I could select them all, change this, because they all have their individual number that differentiates them. So I could just change the first one, it changes to elevator piston, then their numbers just inherit. That's pretty complex anyway. So, elevator piston final. I go in here, get back to my timer blocks, and then elevator again. There. So, timer block 1 starts timer block 2's countdown and reverses the first piston. So, it'll reverse at its normal rate, and the rest of them will follow suit. So, then this one, I want... Oh, I have to remove the piston final from the main elevator group, though. So, let's do that. Hold on. Okay. Dang it. No, I don't want them showing on terminal. I just need to type piston. That's how I do it. Okay. I see every single piston. Remove that by control clicking. Save. Piston final is no longer part of it. Okay. Back in here. Now, if I reverse these, it will reverse everything else. The other one's already going up or down. And now, if I just put this... Nope, that's an R. So, elevator timer block. Trigger now. So, if I go ahead and just do this, what should happen, this piston will start going, so we'll start rising, and about 10 seconds later, the rest of them will rise. Doesn't need to be that quick, though. Set this to maybe 3 seconds. So that gives us 3 seconds to get moving before the rest of them kick on. Let's close our safety rail and try it out. Okay. Yeah, so a slow start and then rapid acceleration. Now, I may need some more timer blocks to make this work, because I have a funny feeling the one piston moving isn't gonna save me. Additionally, it would be nice if it didn't bob up and down so much when it arrived, but that's something I don't know if I'm going to be able to solve. Okay. Let's see what happens. So we're going, and we still drop. Whoop. That one was enough to kill me, I guess. Probably hadn't healed fully from the last time. We can watch our body take the elevator, though. That's kind of fun. Let's see if it stops or if the bag bounces out. No, look, the bag stayed in. Oh. No, the bag did not stay in. The bag bounced out. Well, we're on the right track at least. You know, we're heading in the right direction. So I think what I'll need to do is more timer blocks. So each timer block is one more piston, because that one does the rest. So if I go ahead... So that's 7 pistons that can start moving to accelerate and decelerate me before the whole line does. There's gonna have to be some drop where it just starts moving. Just with how the pistons work. Because there's so many of them. I might, if I have enough to do the whole down line, that may smooth it. But part of it's I'm just working on, you know, I assume that there's going to be some drop, and I'm just going to accept the drop and hope it's minimal. So let's go ahead, I'll keep those, just because I have a funny feeling I may need more. I need ladders to make our stairs. Yeah. So now we can at least get up here. And I think while we're here, I may not have what I need to make it, but I'll work on... Yep, I do not. So how I'm going to handle the door is I'm going to have a sensor that when it detects a subgrid, which the main base is, from the pistons, it can open or close that. So when we come into a subgrid, it'll open it. When I leave a subgrid, it closes it. Which isn't super perfect because it means the elevator door closes after the car's moving. But currently the acceleration kills you on the downward, so safety is not a huge concern. Well, we built this so we can show it off at least. Okay. So, what I'll do, hopefully I don't run out of fuel. So, show sensor field range. This is how you get so you can see the sensor field. So long as you have an antenna somewhere in your base, you can do the button clicks I just did and it'll make this nice box that shows the sensor. Okay. And you can watch it in real time, so as I do things like drop the extent, you can see, I just pointed with my real finger at the screen, that doesn't help. You can see the edge of the box moving. So, I want a very thin bar apparently the bottom is there. I thought that was the top, but that's fine. So I want top extent, no back extent, and no front extent. Basically, I want this little bar that'll just reach out and detect. I may drop it down just a little bit. That'll just detect when it intersects with one of the platforms. So, don't detect players. Maybe we'll leave the audible alarm as a sort of ding, we're at the station type of deal. Detect subgrids. Now it should be detecting, right? Probably. Okay, well let's set up then. Did I name? Here, we can do it from inside the car. Okay, let's name this elevator hinge. Then we'll call this one elevator sensor, set up actions, elevator hinge. We'll just reverse, then reverse again. Oh, does that not? Uh-oh. That might be an issue. So, how a sensor works, it has the two bars here. This bar is triggered when something enters the sensor. This one is triggered when something leaves the sensor. I want it to reverse both times. That might mean two sensors. That's a pain. Let's just see what happens. So, right now it should be open. If we take the elevator up, it didn't close because we didn't enter the sensor range. But once we get to the top here, nothing happens. Why not? It's intersecting, so it should be detecting a thing. Detect subgrids, maybe station subgrids? Yes. Okay. So because this is a station, I guess it's also a subgrid. I guess I have to have both, or maybe I just need one. Either way, now, if we drop and survive that, just barely. Oh. Okay. Science is happening. Those are Reavers. Have they shown up yet? God, I can't remember now. Either way, look, it worked. Even with us bouncing comically up and down. I think we may have seen Reavers here already. It looks like they're just moving past. They will make us sad and dead. So, yeah, they seem to just be cruising on that way. We'll just be cautious. But if you're close enough, they can detect movement. So, Let's see if we can peek on them, though. Oh, that's a big one. Those are two big things. Can we get in one of the turrets? No. Oh boy. Yeah, to be that big at 3 kilometers away. Let's... designator is the one we want. Oh boy. Yeah, they look like they mean some business. They're flying in a squad, too. Urgh. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to let them go about their merry day and hope they don't notice us and decide they want to eat us. So I assume that's what they do to people. Ow. Let's go get healed before I sprain my ankle and die. So, that's a bunch of those. Let's find them first. See, it would be lovely if I could just select them all and then just type elevator in front and they'd keep their name except for with all of them having elevator in front. Instead, we'll use the old copy-paste trick. Okay. So, lock. We'll say that's all. So how this is going to work, yeah, the numbers are a little off. So, this one will trigger 3, which will trigger 4, trigger 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 will trigger all. So, these represent 7 pistons that will start to accelerate, slowly increasing the speed at which I am moving before the big acceleration. And hopefully accelerate or increasing it enough that I don't get hurt and don't have to add another layer and a bunch more pistons. So, I think what I'm gonna... Ah. Huh. Those Reavers, they know how to throw a party. Is that... I guess they just enjoy doing that to announce their presence? Actually, that's probably 100% what they're doing. Okay, well, we won't be easily intimidated, and we can't escape. So, I think what I'm gonna do... Here, I'm gonna do some adjusting. So, I'm gonna make the numbers make sense in their titles, and then I'm going to name the piston to correspond with its block. So, blocks 1 through 7, I'll change this piston to be piston 1. Elevator piston, maybe ACC for accelerate 1. I'll copy that. I should have enough fuel for this because I need to do it manually. Yeah, see, the issue is they're all called piston. So, well, I didn't change the name of that last one. Yeah. So I just have to manually increment my way up until I reach 7 of them. And then plug them all into their timer blocks. levers have disappeared. I think... oh, and actually... last thing I'll do... So... No. LE... The sensor's lovely, but I think it'll be easier considering I can't reverse it the way I want. Actually, no, this should work. Because every time I hit the button... don't know how to do this. Well... if we... So, the first piston, when we hit the button, it'll also reverse the hinge. And then as we get to the top, it'll detect it and open again. Okay, this should work. So, moment of truth. We should accelerate slowly because each piston will... Oh, nope. One more final thing. So all of these need a 3-second start timer. Yeah. Actually, we could probably... That's the wrong button. They could probably all do... Let's go... 2 seconds. So... Each piston has a 2-second timer before the next piston starts accelerating, which should mean we have a slower and gentler acceleration. So, door closing, elevator lifting. We're slowly picking up some speed. Okay. And then we hit the afterburners. Let's see if that's enough. I should have checked what the velocity was right when it started accelerating. Looked at that more closely, because that may have clued me in as to if we were going to work. But yeah, so we hit the top. Our door opens again. That part's working. Now, okay, we have full health. That's important. We'll stand in the middle of the elevator. Okay, door closing. We're slowly dropping, quicker and quicker. Okay, we're at about 3 meters a second. We didn't take damage. It's maybe not as quick as, or as subtle as I want it to be, but that was something at least. Then we hit the bottom, we get spanked around a little bit, and all's good. Huh. I think that's an elevator. It definitely has some smoothing out to do, and what I may do, if I can hop over this, what I may do in between is add another layer of timer blocks and have more pistons to slowly accelerate. Basically, getting us faster before it drops to try and minimize the visual of plummeting. Or I put a cage over top. All options. Well, either way, I think that'll do it for today. So, here. We'll leave it riding the elevator up. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out any of the other stuff I've done. And until next week, wait for it. Bye-bye!